the best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Welcome in. It is Georgia Players section. We got these fools in here with us. Knowshon, Moreno, Tavarres, King, Georgia legends. He's got himself muted as always. We've had that problem the whole time. So here we go. We got cheers right here. Guys, as always, it's a pleasure to be meeting with you here live on a Wednesday night. And TK, I'm excited to look about the guest we got tonight.
Yeah. I'm super excited. Obviously, it's a special night, super special night. Always got one of my best friends on the show with us in Knowshon, but we got my other boy, one of my other best friend, college roommate.
Now we got to give him his flowers.
Yeah, break it down a little.
Hey man,
Awful.
y'all back up, man. College roommate. Best friend, one of my best men in my wedding, just an amazing dude to start off. But man, we got a Pro Bowler in the house tonight, guys. A Pro Bowler in the house tonight. This year, Pro Bowler. And we'll get into the meat and potatoes, but we got Ben Jones.
Welcome in,
Ben Jones. Ben Jones. We got Ben Jones in the house tonight, y'all.
How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing great, fellas. How we doing?
Fantastic.
Doing good, man. Appreciate you coming on with us, Ben, man. For real, it's obviously an honor to have you. It was super easy to get you. Obviously, you being in my favorites in my in my phone, so that was an easy task. But appreciate you hopping on with us, man, for sure.
Yeah, anytime, fellas.
You just chilling? It look like you just relaxing and kicking it right now. You don't got nothing special going on, huh? You just chilling?
You know, everything. Hayes in the barn at my house.
I fucking love it. You out in Tennessee right now? You still?
Do what?
You still in Tennessee right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's my spot. Love me some Tennessee now.
And we've had all kinds of Georgia greats on here. We had Todd Gurley, we've had Matthew Stafford, but now we get to bring, and we had Matt Cinchcombe, who was an offensive lineman, but now we get to get somebody who's been. You touch the ball every play as a center. You know what I'm saying? It starts with you, Ben. So, just tell us what it's like right now going through things. I know you've been 11 years in the league. You've been at Georgia. Just kind of tell us what's going on with you right now, man.
Yeah, I just finished up my 11th year. Got a Pro Bowl this year. Hit a lot of milestones that I wanted to hit. I wanted to play 10,000 snaps in the NFL. I got to hit that this year. I had over 150 starts. So it was checking some boxes this year, but didn't end like we wanted it. Had some injuries, and that's pretty much what I'm focusing on right now is just getting healthy. And once I get healthy, I'm going to figure out what I want to do.
Yeah,
absolutely. TK, I know you got some stuff to chop it up with your former roommate about, so go ahead, my man.
Yeah, talk about your time at Georgia and obviously just how that kind of carried over. You had Coach Searles. Coach Searles is back now. We had Matt Stinchcombe on last week talking a little bit about the Pro Day. Talk about how big of an influence Coach Searles is and was to you, and then two, talk about how Pro Day. What Pro Day meant to you, what Pro Day was to you, and if they tried to put you through the ringer, were you tired?
Try to wear you out, Ben.
Yeah, so Coach Searles is he's been like one of those father figures to me. My dad passed when I was 10, and having that guy, he was a rock for me when I was at Georgia and still is. I still talk to him a couple times a week. I was there last week, stayed with him all day. Didn't get home like 10 o'clock that night. I was watching film with him literally, and we watched everything from cut-ups to my tape. So we put in a full day of work together. He's just a good old boy just like me. Farm boy, loves the lake, and he loves Georgia football. And he's my guy through and through.
Yeah, for sure. We all love Searles, man.
Yeah, everybody.
Ain't no one that ever met Searles would be like, man, I don't mess with him.
He was throwing that hat at me and everybody else.
He was taking that hat off and throwing that hat.
He went that thing a couple times.
Popping him right in the back of the helmet, though. He had good aim, perfect aim.
Absolutely.
Perfect aim.
Ben, tell us a little bit. I mean, just as a former player, obviously I talk here with TK and Knowshon each week. And this necessarily guys wasn't on our plan with, but I got to know, what's it like being a former Georgia Bulldog and now seeing this run that Kirby and the guys are going on, and you get to talk smack in your locker room, all that. I mean, just tell us what it's like being a dog at this point in time.
It puts a little extra money in the bank account around.
Oh yeah.
Derek and them, that's my boy through and through. But Roll Tide, not no more. I was tired of that $100 in that locker every year.
Okay.
It was nice.
Absolutely. How much trash did you talk to Derek after the 33-18 in Indy last year?
I just put my arm around him and said, "Hey, go Dogs." He goes,
I deserve it. I hear you. Well, Knowshon, I know you got something for Ben.
You ain't lying, man. And speaking of some of the guys that you play with, I mean, I played with Tannehill over in Miami, you know what I mean? And obviously I didn't play with Derek. But tell me what it was so special about Tannehill, man. Just real quick, because I mean, like I said, I played with him in Miami. Thought he was, pretty good. But I think he really took that next step once he got over with the Titans, man. And I was like, bro, where was all this when we were playing in Miami, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So what made him so special in that locker room over there?
Yeah, you definitely saw he took the next step, and we put him in. He came in this offense and thrived. He demanded it. We were in a run, play action scheme offense. He's able to move around the pocket, but when you're loading the box up to stop Derek, he was able to make plays for us. And when Derek was out last year or 2 years ago, whenever 2021, Tannehill got us the number 1 seed. Literally, he played every single game. He takes shot. He's tough. He's one of those guys. He's like our boy Matt, just keeps getting up.
Yeah.
He can take a lick. He demands it. He's a leader, and he made that step. I think it put a little chip on his shoulder.
I think so.
Traded and being the backup, and when he got his shot, he came in guns a-blazing.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree with you on that, because I'm like, bro, take off and run. He never really liked to take off and run. I'm like, bro, you can do it with your legs too.
He can slide.
Yeah, he can slide now.
He can get it going. Ben, talking about NFL free agency, obviously that's a place you're in now. There's talks of you and the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. That would be awesome. We obviously know Arthur Smith is somebody that you are very familiar with the Falcons and things like that. But I want to give you your flowers. I want to backpedal a little bit, bro. 11 years is crazy. It's crazy, and just like at your position,
exactly.
At your position, just doing that every play is crazy. So I just want to backpedal a little bit and give you your flowers on that note. But in the NFL free agency state, you got to think. I mean, A-Rod, that would be a kind of a cool landing spot, but not for the country boy.
Oh yeah, the city too. That's gonna be crazy though, man.
That's a way above the Mason-Dixon line, boys.
It's up there. What would your thoughts be on that with the Jets? I mean, obviously you've been linked to that. They've had great centers in the past, like Nick Mangold up there. I mean, but Aaron Rodgers appears to be going there. Who knows? This limbo and stuff like that. What would your thoughts be on something like that?
Yeah, my whole off sense when I've talked to my agent, I told him I want to get healthy and I want to win a championship, and wherever that comes about and where I think I can win the championship and what's the next piece, that's my whole goal. But I told him, hey, let's take our time. Let's make this right decision, because this is only a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I don't have many left in me, but I want to make the right decision.
All right, Arthur Smith, if you're listening, you better get your stuff together in the draft so you can put some pieces around Ben and bring him into Atlanta.
You see that hat? You see that hat? You see what the boy doing?
He's doing it for the A right there.
The same hat I wore in college every night. And this is the shirt Coach Searles gave me for getting most knockdawns. I still got.
I love it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Hey, speaking of back in college, DK told us about a story that apparently he was getting a little testy with you one night, roommates just kind of talking back and forth, and you put him in what he described as the hog nose submission on him and basically put him out over there. So give us your side of this story and
We heard TK's.
Tell us about TK's.
I ain't
the
lying.
hog nose story.
You know, TK likes to talk that smack, and I told him, I was like, "You better shut up." And he kept running that mouth, bobbing up there, and I put that joker in that hog nose, and he didn't know what hit him. All I know, I looked him over there. He was over there spazzing out. Out. I was like, I think I killed him.
Put him out.
Out. I told you. Out.
Hey, you have a choice in the hog nose. You either get choked out or I rip your nose off. You put them 2 big fingers in that nostrils. Hey, you're going to lift that head up and let me choke you out, or that nose right off.
You ever done that in the pile at the NFL? Like, you get under there in a scrum and just said, I'm just going to put the hog nose on him real quick.
Oh, man. I'm usually on the bottom down there in the middle. So I'm trying.
Listen, I had to be the last. You heard what he said, bro. I was doing this. He almost killed me, bro. He ain't doing that no more, bro. He ain't doing that ever again.
No, I got him so bad that Rhett was arguing with him, and them two got in a fight. And I'm the one who choked him out. Then I had to break them two fighting. I was like, that's how you know you got good Knowshon.
Right.
He fought somebody else.
Look, he instigated another fight, man.
Right. It will Rhett. Of
Yeah.
all people, goodness gracious.
Gotta have McGowan on here. Shout out Red McGowan.
Yeah, all day, right? What it do?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That is classic. But look, I done seen Ben, put and take a lot of folks out. He there was a fan question. I'll
put it up here. I got it right here. You talking about the fight?
Well,
we put up some questions. I said, hey, we got Ben Jones coming on. People on the vent, Dawg vent over there. Who wants to ask him a question? And we had a couple submitted here. One kind of in that same vein from Rowdy Dawg. Who wins a triple threat steel cage match between Ben Jones, Russ Tanner, and Boss Andrews? So the three Georgia centers right there. It comes down to a steel cage match. What do you think? What's your strategy going to be to take? Is it hognose central, like choking them out right there? What's going on?
Hey, whatever it takes. Hey, I got a stat for you. No matter, since I've been in Pee Wee all the way through the league, if I started something, I finished it. I've never been knocked out of a game. I've always finished it no matter what. And you know how many concussions I've had. I've got dislocated thing. I was telling Tavarres when my collarbone come out my throat, it was poking out, making me throw up during the game.
Shut up.
Yeah.
We didn't dress
What
up.
happened? Tell me about that.
Listen
We got to hear
bro.
about this.
Listen to this guy.
So my arm got stuck in a twist and my collarbone popped out. It was stuck in the back of my throat. So I come to the sideline. It was on third down. I was like, I was throwing up. And they're like, why is he throwing up? I was like, it's sticking in my throat. They didn't know what they were talking about. So we had to put it back in place.
Man.
And we just put a little black tape on there because nothing else to do.
a little black tape.
When was this?
That was in 2016. So I still had my streak going. So torn MCLs, broken hand was not fun on your snap in. So every time you your hands, that was fun. So, but that thing would pop out every time I snap. So in practice, I wouldn't snap. I would just block and just hand the quarterback the football during practice.
What a
Tim
straight
Collins got a weak stomach, man. He can't handle that. You see down there. But
those are the kind of players you want to run behind.
Yeah.
You know he in them trenches, bro. And that puts me to my next question I was gonna ask you real quick. Is like, bro, we know what them trenches is like. Yeah, they might be, they might be tough in college, but when we get to that league, bro, the trenches ain't no joke, right? So I was wondering, man, what would you tell a younger Ben? Like, you an older Ben and you see young Ben, you straight out of Georgia coming through the locker room. What's one piece of advice you would give young Ben that you might have found out maybe like midway through your career?
How to take care of your body. Like it was getting the massages, getting treatments, so your body somewhat feels good on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because those first couple of years, you wake up, go to practice, get in the hot tub, cold tub, and that was about it.
Yep.
Just investing in yourself, because this is what makes your money. It's your body. And I learned how to do that. And I think that really progressed my career and kept me playing, because God knows I shouldn't have been on that field a lot of Sundays, but I had a good team around me, good trainers, good strength staff, and massage lady, needling, IVs. I've done it all to make sure I get there on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
I mean, You talked about that story, and you talked about how tough that was. I mean, obviously it shows toughness with all the injuries you've been able to play through. But another guy that's really tough, your former coach now, Mike Vrabel. I mean, I saw a video, and I think it was of this past season, you coming off the field, and Vrabes gives you this hug, man, when you're coming off the field, and he's getting emotional because he knows what you played through. And tell us, what were you playing through at that moment, and what did that mean to see your head coach kind of realize what you had been through at that moment?
Yeah, he knew the night before I'd been throwing up for like 16 straight hours. I was getting IVs before the game, during the game. Every time I'd come on the sideline, they'd poke me again, get me fluid. Then I got a high ankle sprain, got my MCL. So we were kind of out of alignment at that point. And we knew we had to get one more first down to kind of close out the game. That was a big game for us to get 2 in a row versus the Colts. We needed it. So I was coming off I was like, just give me time to get taped. So I went in the tent, taped up the whole knee, taped up the ankle. And he was like, "You're good. We got this." I was like, "No, we're finished it." And that's when the whole run with Derrick Henry, and we picked him up and got the first down. And I was just trying to make a statement because we were all young. The rest of the linemen, besides one of them, was their first year starting. Mm-hmm. So I was being that guy for him, like, "Hey, you got to take me off this field. Like, I love this game, and this is what it takes to win in this league." So I was trying to set an example for our young kids on that team.
Mm.
Wow, unbelievable!
You make me want to get back out. Hey, coach, call me up. I got a couple in me.
I mean, TK, think of the tough guys we've had on here from Georgia, Ben, and then of course Stafford, what he went through up in Detroit with the shoulder getting popped back in and all that, and going throwing the winning touchdown pass. So definitely some tough guys coming through. Speaking of guys that I don't know. You may tell us they're tough. You may tell us they're crazy. Whatever. You played with 2 guys who've made it huge in the world of podcasting, Will Compton and Taylor Lewan, busting with the boys. You got any stories about Compton and Taylor Lewan, or something you want to tell us about the busting with the boys?
Look at it.
Oh man, they're hilarious. Love those guys to death. I got to be here with Taylor, so he's full and full. That's how Taylor is every single day.
Just like the show.
Never a dull moment with Taylor. His locker was right next to me in the locker room, so we had a lot of great times. And we got some memories down there because TK, me and him together, we're damaged. We do a lot of damage.
Yeah,
nobody was safe down there in the corner. When we had stuffed beaver in there, we had stuffed owl, we had like a whole little corner. We decorated it. It was good times down there.
Ben, you got to vouch for us. You got to be able to get Taylor and Will come on here with TK and Knowshon, chop it up a little bit on Georgia Players section.
Y'all are way cooler than them. They're a little vanilla. We help them with their stuff. Taylor, oh man, but Will's the brains. Taylor's the juice behind it. You never know what he's going to say, and so I give him a hard time. I said, "Taylor, you wouldn't be anything without Will over here. You wouldn't even go up to the bus." I was like, "You got to have he's your secretary, he's your script writer, he's everything for you."
Man. Yes, sir.
Man, I've been tweeting at Will Compton, been like, you scared to come on SEC country, like they Big Ten guys. You know what I'm saying? You give them any of that?
Oh, yeah, they're always talking Big Ten versus everybody. I said I just send them clips like, "Oh, Georgia won again. He just stomped y'all again." Now they're going to Tennessee and South Carolina and all these other schools. I'm like, "Yeah, we'll go down there. We whoop them every year. They're about like the Big Ten. So they're on the playing field."
Oh Lord, absolutely. TK, Knowshon, what else we got for Ben? He's been gracious with his time here.
Yeah. You are, man. Want to get you up out of here. Last 2 things. Want to talk about your rituals. You got 2 awesome rituals, I think. Your barefoot ritual, and then
I love it.
And then your birthday ritual. It's not for you, it's for others. But but you got 2 awesome things that I think are that need to be shared. And then lastly, I wanted to give you an opportunity to share, the Jones Foundation and all that jazz. So talk about, your rituals, your barefoot ritual. This guy's crazy, y'all. Y'all already know that.
So being from good old Alabama, walking barefoot in the football field before games wasn't that big a deal. Like I did it, just getting the feel of the grass. I did it from high school on with my brother. He was kind of my role model. So after he graduated, I kept it going and kind of respected him because he was literally my dad for me. After he passed, I looked up to him. I wanted to be just like him. So I kind of kept that going. And once I got to the league, I had to go to Kansas City, and it was -10. Green Bay, and it was a foot of snow. Feet got a little cold, boys.
You got a little cold, boys.
I used to go out there, I say my prayer. Usually come on back in, especially when it's below zero.
Yeah.
Don't want that frostbite. That thing be looking like Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, it was cold out there. So it was just a respect for my brother and how much he means to me. So I got to do that. Got to walk and do it in a lot of special places. Never thought I'd get to play on Sunday night in the snow in Green Bay. Pretty darn cool. And birthdays. Nobody's safe. If it's their birthday and you're my boy, started with my boy TK, came into town to surprise him for his birthday, and I smacked him. I'm talking about with his own birthday cake. He come out
with his own. I remember that.
The bathroom. Bow, I got him.
Bro, TK, you should have pulled that up so we could see that. That was hilarious.
I do. Like, there's video of it somewhere.
I phoned 2 on that video when I smacked him.
Bro.
Oh, man.
GMs, head coaches. Like, I got Vrabel now 5 straight years, and he knows it's coming. I've snuck in, hit him with a plate of cottage cheese. I've hit him with overnight oats, baby powder, you name it. Mayonnaise. Like, I've hit a guy with bomb. Like, guys, nothing. If you catch me in the act, I stop, and that's your one chance.
Okay.
Can't stop it. I put together a plan. I'll be bear crawling through there.
Yeah, how you
meeting room?
How you doing?
Security guys looking
dude crazy.
Cameras. Arthur Smith asked him, head coach of the Falcons. He was at the Falcons, and I was texting him like, "I'm gonna get you." He's all worried about that. I snuck through his yard, climbed up the window, videoed him from his house, got through the doggy door, and hit him on his couch.
Man, shut up.
Your ass ain't get through no doggy door.
No, the doggy door was right there, so we unlocked it.
Bro.
He goes,
you gotta watch big ass bitch.
You ain't getting through a doggy door.
Bro,
I got
it.
Absolutely.
Showed him like looking through his house.
Bro, that's classic. Just the healthy
lights and doorbells and stuff. He's had to go all through the woods. I found a sprinkler head that was broken. It was leaking. I saved him some money. So he saved some of that money for me. I saved him a couple $2 right there with that sprinkler head.
Oh my
Ben,
God! This is
out of control.
This is by far. I just want to know, Ben. You have set the bar when it comes to Georgia player section interview. It is no doubt, and we greatly appreciate you coming on. We did have one guy say he needs to hear how much you hate Georgia Tech. You know, the famous picture of you, with the side in your mouth before you tell us about the Jones Foundation.
Yeah, they're Tech. You don't say that. They don't have pride enough to say what state they're from and that state. So they never get mentioned that. They're just Tech in my book. And jokers. They beat us on our home field, messed up our hedges.
Remember that?
Oh, I ate all that grass. I couldn't talk for a week. I swallowed so much dirt and grass. And I had grass in our dorm room on top of our fridge, watering it, growing it. So
hey, I'll tell you what though.
I piss on it, but I think TK forgot to water it one Sunday when I was gone.
I'll tell you what, that's when I started really hating Georgia Tech too, because it wasn't. Listen, I'm not from Georgia. I don't know the rivalries like that. I was just going down there to ball. You feel me? And when they did that, when they tore up the hedges and had it in their mouth, bro, that pissed me the hell off. I was pissed, man. So now, yeah, of course, I hate Georgia Tech.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh man, well, tell us about
never whooped me. He calls me daddy for a reason.
Yeah, well, yeah, you didn't really. So you said you never finished something, but you're guaranteeing victory over Russ Tanner and Boss Andrews in that steel cage match, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There it is.
Him as well.
Yeah.
He like mankind. He gonna jump on tax. He gonna do all that. That's mankind.
Y'all don't listen. Y'all don't understand how. I mean, y'all probably do. This man crazy. I told y'all Josh Bynes' dread was hanging from
wash machine. He got thrown everywhere in that house, and they tried to jump me. All those, they got whooped in there.
Oh man, crazy stuff.
Too good.
Well, Ben, tell us about the Jones Foundation. What you got going on with it?
So jonesmission.org. We help out with underprivileged youth here in Nashville. We do a charity event, or try to, every year. It's usually a celebrity clay shooting country. I like shooting stuff, so we shoot clays. We go out there, have a good time, have a big auction. We're able to raise over almost close to $500,000, and be able to give it all back. We don't take anything out of it. It goes straight to all the nonprofits here in Nashville, from Backfield in Motion to Endure Athletics to Preston Taylor Ministries. So it's after school programs. We send kids to summer camps, tutoring, meals. We've done Christmas giveaways and shopping sprees and Thanksgiving meals and back to school shopping. So we try to put our hands in anything and try to give kids opportunities to succeed.
And what was that URL again? So we can put it at the bottom.
thejonesmission.org.
All right, thejonesmission.org. Guys, if you want to help out with a great cause here, and, definitely what Ben's got going on up there for the youth up there in Nashville, there it is. Visit thejonesmission.org, going across the bottom. Ben Jones, we cannot thank you enough, man. You have, like I said, you set the bar. Round of applause for old Ben here, because he's been fantastic. We appreciate you, sir.
Yo, good luck in free agency, man. Have some fun with it, man.
Yeah,
have some fun with it.
Have some fun. Hit him over the head. Get
everything
you deserve, because you deserve it all, my brother.
Appreciate y'all, and go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All right, there is Ben Jones. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. We'll catch you. We'll catch you next time, no doubt. Thank you, Ben.
Sound good, fellas. Take care.
See you. There goes Ben Jones. TK, Knowshon. How great, dude! That was an legendary guest.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
that man is funny, bro. Like, y'all don't understand how. I mean, y'all kind of understand how wild that man, like how crazy he is. But he a damn good dude. As I said, like, damn good dude. Josh Barnes' dread was hanging from our ceiling fan in our house because Ben took it from his head when we played Auburn and stuffed it in his pants.
Oh my God.
Until we got back home, then he tied it to that little string that hang from the fan. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
That's a wild boy.
What? So I was about to say, what are some of y'all's favorite memories of Ben? From there, other than what he talked about. Is there anything that we left off the table here to wrap that one up?
So many Ben Jones. I listen. I know you got way more than I have, and I got a lot where it's like, bro, Ben Jones is wild. Ben Jones. So yeah, it's too many, man. It's too many. Ben is some good people, man.
Some we can't tell because it's a family show, right?
It's
man, but
it's a family show. He Billy Bobbed one time, tried to drink the syrup. On off Friday night lights. He tried to drink the syrup. That was hilarious too.
He said, just listen to that dude is scary.
So we had a good time, man. We had a good time.
Yeah. Good people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The best. The best.
I mean, yeah, Dawg on the field, but then off the field, man, he's the kindest dude, man. You can go up to him, ask for an autograph, ask for a picture, whatever the case may be, man. Good people, just straight good people.
Yeah, family, man.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And we appreciate him coming on. Listen, that's why you tune in to Georgia Players Section. We've got great guests coming on dang near every week now. We're going to try to, we said, every other week, but if we can get one, we're going to bring one on, we're going to do it. So we're trying to provide that for you guys. What is it, TK?
That looked different. That looked like a different beverage there, Sauce.
Oh yeah,
a little dark.
Yeah.
I'm not at the crib, right? So I had to bring out this beer. It's like something amber.
Okay.
There you go.
It's
well,
delicious.
Listen, here on Georgia Players Section, not only do we talk Georgia football and have great guests like Ben Jones on, but we also talk SEC football. Last week, guys, we went through the SEC East and we talked about the biggest questions that each SEC East team has. Now we're going to kind of go into it's spring ball. Everything's getting going here. We're going to go on the SEC West. And why does this matter for people watching here on the UGA Sports Channel? Well, you're going to play one of these teams in Atlanta because it's become an annual tradition that Georgia's going to be there. So you got to look ahead at the competition and see. So, guys, I just want to know general thought before we get into each team. When you were researching these teams and kind of looking at the teams in the West, thinking what they lost last year, looking at what they're getting this year, what were some of your thoughts right off the bat, just generally?
Man, just honestly, a lot of quarterback play up in the air, and I think that's all around the SEC. But just in general, I think in the West, there's a lot of question marks from a coaching standpoint to me. Like Arkansas, obviously, we got to figure out what my man Pitt's gonna do. It's kind of make or break for him. TAMU, been make or break for him. Auburn, you got a new coach.
Mississippi
State, new coach. So I mean, there's a lot of coaching and quarterback questions for me that I see. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a fun year over there in the West. It's kind of the big question, I think, is can LSU do it again over there? Because it kind of lines up for them too, in my opinion. But can they?
Yeah, I mean, Knowshon, you were more than any of us going into last year. You were super high on Jaden Daniels. You thought Jaden Daniels was going to be, and I just didn't know because of the question, the inconsistency he had at Arizona State. But you saw something that you believed in, and he ended up having a fantastic year.
Yeah, man, really great year. Him being a newcomer coming in with a new coach, new staff and all this turmoil, all the stuff that was going on at that time. And I thought he did a really good job. You never know what a player is going to do when he goes to another team, but you can kind of see these small little, I don't know what you call it. You just see these small things that you love about a player, and you're like, man, I think he can be great if he has the certain people around him, a good team around him, this and that. And you saw Jaden go out there and do that. It was kind of a slow start, him to kind of get his feet underneath him, but man, once they started rolling, I thought they did a really good job. And when I looked, up and down, the conference over in the West. I know you said, TK, that, it's a lot of quarterback questions up in the air, but I feel like for a lot of these teams, except like a Bama, but like they have their quarterback already kind of, right? It's who wants to take that leap, who wants to win the job and be like, I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I saw when I looked throughout the West at the quarterback position. But other than that, man, it's another proven year for a lot of these teams, especially when you want to try to catch up with a Georgia and the Alabama.
No doubt. We want your comments as we go through this. So we're going to go through each team in the West here, and we're going to talk about some of the questions that they have. Like I said, this matters to people watching on UGASports.com because it's kind of an early preview of, okay, which team's going to make it to Atlanta in the conference championship game and play against Georgia. We cover all things SEC here on Georgia Players section, as you see in the title there with the SEC in black. So the questions for LSU that we came up with, guys, do they have any diversity in the run game this year? Meaning, can they get some more production out of their actual running backs? Because Jaden Daniels accounted for 34% of LSU's rushing yards in 2022, 28% of their rushing TDs. Knowshon, as a running back, would you be a little ticked off if the quarterbacks get all the carries? Like, was it? You'd be like, Coach, what's going on now?
You know what? I mean, not necessarily. If it was like straight up quarterback plays that they were running over and over again.
Well, some of it was.
But a lot of those was he's, looking down the field, ain't nothing there. I'm going to scramble for a quick 7-8. Feel me? Yeah. And, I want that. I want that in my quarterback. But you hit the head on the nose right there. You hit the head that these other guys need to step up. You know what I mean? Like a Noah Cain. Noah Cain has to step up, bro. I know he came in just like a Jaden Daniels, being new to the team, but man, we can't have our quarterback, count for 885 yards, more than anyone on the team, averaging 4.8 yards, a carry. So you got to have that chip on your shoulder. And Brian Kelly and the staff have to be kind of trying to hone that into the running backs and saying like, and the linemen, like, we got to get a run game going here. You know what I mean? So, I think that would be a big key if they can keep Jaden from running a lot, man, keep him a little bit healthier. I know at the end of the season, he had that ankle. Who knows where they could have been if he didn't have that ankle injury, man. So, I mean, and the guy that he threw 68% completion, beautiful, and 3 picks on the whole year, bro. I mean, That's tremendous. I love that about him. You know what I mean? That he's able to at least, have almost 3,000 yards passing and only 3 picks and doing it with his legs. So I think it's a time for him to, take that next step, though. Let's take that next step. Ain't no other quarterbacks out there like that now. They're going to be talking about you. So let's see what you can do with it.
PK, obviously if they do get any semblance of a consistent running game, that wide receiving core can take the top off now. They got some receivers.
And they've had them. They had them last year. And I think that's probably another question is if OC Mike Denbrock can find ways to incorporate the passing game. Because, Knowshon just alluded to it. Jaden Daniels is extremely good about going through his progressions. It's not there. I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't have to do that, if they're schemed up to where they're open, and if he's got a great rapport with Mike Denbrock, Jaden Daniels, if he has got a great rapport with him and what he's wanting to do schematically, then I think that, hell, he can have another good year. And I think that he can have a good year through the air, just having some comfortability with a passing scheme that he likes, because you obviously know what he can do with his legs, and that he can do damn near by himself. He's shown. So I think having the receivers schemed up is something that they'll have to do a little bit better.
Think the jump that he's probably going to take from year 1 to year 2 in that offense, that's always a big deal, like you said, there. And then Andy Stowe says, well, if they don't have a running back, the quarterback has to do it. Who's going to do it? John Emery. Well, really, it was Josh Williams that really took over until he got hurt. He ended up being their second leading rusher, 6 touchdowns on the year. And man, he was breaking.
He's coming back, right?
Yeah, he's coming back.
Okay,
I think
cool.
I think he's got first crack at being the lead back going in there. Yep. The other thing that they have to address, and speaking of receivers, Alex Page put up here that Cole Cubitt shared this morning on the radio show that Kentucky's wide receiving core is the deepest. We talked about LSU's. Hey, Alex, tell Cole to stop stealing my stuff over here, because I've been hyping Kentucky's wide receiving core for a minute.
Because and the quarterback, don't forget that.
Yeah, don't forget the QB.
He's the truth.
I can't wait.
The quote right there.
He's
the truth. The truth. All right. So the last thing for LSU before we move on to Alabama, LSU's got to improve in their run defense. TK, it was a little bit spotty last year.
Yeah, it was rough out there for them boys, giving up about 4.1 yards a carry. You obviously, that's nasty. That's very nasty. You obviously can't do it. And what's weird about that is that they had guys up front.
Oh, yeah.
So you wonder what the deal is there. But hey man, we live in the precious present. You got time now to get that ironed out. But man, if they don't, it could be another rough one for them. They only lost to Texas A&M, Tennessee, and Georgia when they gave up over 200 yards. But again,
there were still some other games that they gave up 200 yards. They just ended up winning them.
Exactly. You can't do that in our league, bro. Like, that's a lot of groundage right there, bro.
And Knowshon, they get Mason Smith back for, he tore his ACL in that FSU game last year, maybe the best defensive tackle in the country. So heck, you as a running back, when you got an elite D tackle over there, he can change the game when it comes to stopping the run.
And you see it with Georgia. You see it with all these teams now, right? They see that. It almost started with Jordan Davis. It's almost like when they saw that big boy in there, like, yo, we need to get us one of those. So you can see it, though. That defensive tackle position, man, stuffing the run and putting some pressure in the pocket on the quarterback, man, it's a big deal and kind of lets those outside guys eat. So that's going to be a tremendous guy to get back in that defense. But at the same time, they got to go out there and work. Got to go out there and prove it to me. You know what I mean? I'm a prove it kind of guy. Y'all know who I am. So go out there and prove it and go out there and ball, and I love to see it. Real quick, going back to Jaden, I love that they have like a Nussmeier behind him, so he can't get complacent, man. Because I really like me Nussmeier, secondary quarterback out there, man. I think he can really throw the ball. He was young, so I think he's going to come into his own, Garrett Nussmeier, and I think he's going to do some great things down the road for them once Jaden leaves.
Absolutely. He I told y'all, it looked like the second coming to Dan Marino in the second half of that SC championship game. He was back there slinging that thing.
He was out there.
He'd be stationary like, and he throw that. I'm like, man, I like that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. All right, moving on to Alabama. Alabama's got a quarterback battle on their hands. arguably the GOAT over there, Bryce Young, is gone to the NFL. And it's either going to be Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson, two totally different styles there. So right off the bat, guys, we saw Jalen Milroe get his shot in the when Bryce Young got hurt. He came in the Arkansas game, and then he got to start the Texas A&M game, and they dang near lost that one as he had some turnover problems and some accuracy issues. Do you think his experience is enough for Tommy Rees, the new offensive coordinator? Now, remember, it's new coordinator. So is Jalen Milroe going to be able to win this job, or do you think Ty Simpson, who's more of a kind of pocket passer type quarterback that is still mobile, but he's more of an elite passer, who do you think wins that job over there at Alabama?
Right now, to me, I mean, I'd have to go with Milroe, just based off experience. I mean, he's got experience with some wins, so that does a little bit to your confidence. But not just that, he's one of those guys that can do it with his legs as well, and can do it in a crazy fashion. So when you're doing that, he's probably faster than our boy Anthony Richardson, I think.
Man, he can play.
Come on, huh?
Milroe can run
him, bro.
He might be a 4.3.
Do it. Yeah, click me. Yes.
Richardson can really run.
Can I Zapato this? Can I Zapato his
Please
speed?
do. What? You ain't saying that, bro.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this a future Zapato. Because look, check this out, my boy. I don't know where we gonna get this, but I guarantee old boy run a faster 40 than AR Anthony Richardson.
Oh, y'all heard that. I don't even got to write it down because everyone heard that. About 30 styles.
Yeah.
30 styles?
They listening, ain't y'all? Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That's interesting. Really? Is he?
Bro, he can slide, boy.
Okay.
So listen, y'all are both picking that. Here's my argument. I think Ty Simpson ought to be the quarterback, because I didn't see it out of Jalen Milroe when he played at Texas A&M. He didn't. I just don't think with what Tommy Rees is going to do, he's going to bring things more back to more pro style, less run and shoot, air raid, whatever you want to call it. I know Alabama still ran the football, but man, they were throwing it like crazy the last few years, and I think Tommy Rees is going to try to bring some of that physicality back.
I can hear you on that, but there's so many question marks around this Alabama offense, and the biggest one to me being that offensive line. So if you Tommy Rees or Ty Simpson ain't about to be sitting back there like no statue, you need Mr. Milroe to get the hell up out of there.
He can run. I think Tommy Rees can run a little bit.
Boy can't run like that though. The boy can't run like that. But I think the offensive line is huge here. And again, there's questions all around, because even at corner, even at running back, you lose Gibbs. Yeah. Obviously you got guys that have played there before. You got Justice Haynes coming in, stud. Shout out Baron Haynes. But that OL, bro, and that's always been a strength, has it not?
Listen, their OL is going to be so young that Alabama will have a freshman at every position in their offensive line too deep. At least one freshman in every position in their offensive line, and they could end up starting 2 freshman tackles. So when has that been the case at Alabama?
Never. So to that point, so you're going to have a freshman line and a guy that's never been at the helm before behind that freshman line?
Yeah. I mean, I see your point. I just know that Ty Simpson throws dots, and Jalen Milroe, sometimes he's got that Joe Milton disease where sometimes it's way over there and you don't know where it's going.
Chill out.
I need to see a little more from Ty, though. But I get it. He's going to get his opportunities. He's a little younger, but I need to see a little more from him. You know what I mean?
Rhett Womack going with the dose of Patos. He says they're not getting to Atlanta, period.
I agree with that. I was a Patos that if I could do another one, but we don't got to do it. But I agree with that. I don't think it's happening, man. It's just so many question marks right now.
And I think Nick Saban kind of underestimated how hard it would be to keep players too, because he was not 1 year ago talking about how that was their what was he saying? He was saying it was their rebuilding year. and that this year, coming up was going to be the fire one once they lost that first one. You know what I mean? And they're losing players at the same time. So talking about rebuilding, man, it's a lot of rebuilding to do over there. So it's crazy.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So that's Alabama right there. I mean, what do you guys think? Early on, would you give the edge in the West if you had to call a preseason favorite?
LSU.
Would you call it LSU or Alabama?
Give me LSU.
Give me LSU, bro. Straight up.
There you go. You could see a rematch in Atlanta. Thinking about that. All right, so we got some other teams to go to here. And let me get this up right here. Arkansas is going to be the next team that we're talking about. Sam Pittman, you talked about it, TK. It could be kind of a make it or break it type year. Sam Pittman's 19-17 in his 3 years at Arkansas. But listen, I think he's got a lot of goodwill built up from just how bad they were under Chad Morris and how he kind of brought a little life into that program. But who knows? You gotta. It's what have you done for me lately in the SEC?
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's been a kind of a roller coaster over there at Arkansas, and I feel like when you come into a program and you have a good year, you're giving have a good first year, you're giving a little bit of grace at the head coaching spot. So I think the Pitt boss was given a little bit of grace, but now, like we mentioned, it's kind of time to get to it, bro. You got a new OC and DC, so now it's kind of like you can't blame it on nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You've had KJ Jefferson for a while, who is, in my opinion, gets better every year. So I love Sam Pittman. I love him as a coach. I love him as a recruiter. But he's reaching Jimbo territory.
What now? He's the hot seat. You think he's getting in the hot seat?
Yeah, I think he's getting a little red.
Absolutely. The big red man himself, you're saying, is gonna get a little red over there. Pittman. Yeah. He cracks me up just with his post game prep. I love it. They'll interview him after. He's like, he goes, I think I'm gonna go home and crack me a cold beer.
That's he like being as a coach.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Knowshon, I know how much you love Rocket Sanders and his 1,400 yards rushing last year. Obviously, he is tremendous. But you said, to your point, it's all about who's blocking for you. And they lost Ricky Stromberg and Dalton Wagner, who were 3 and 4 year starters on that line. They've brought in some transfers. Trying to fix the pieces there, bring some guys in. I think it's going to kind of depend on that. And, their running game is where it starts for them, especially with Dan Enos as the new offensive coordinator, I think.
Yeah, for sure, man. And, you want to see KJ Jefferson take another leap, man, take a step forward, bro. I think we all had high expectations for him last year. I know he had some injuries here and there. And it was just a decent season. You know what I mean? 5 picks on the season. Took a couple sacks, not more than Jaden. Jaden is like in the 40s. KJ Jefferson only took like 23. So I just want to see him take the next step. But yeah, losing the lineman is never fun. But at the same time, man, that's when the other guys need to step up and do their thing. And when you have a running back like Raheem Sanders,
Raheem
Sanders, that kind of gives you a little sense of like comfort though, because you're like, all right, I can get someone up there to kind of try to block for him, you know what I mean? And I know he's going to go out there and do his thing. So having a running back like that definitely kind of eases that pressure. But you want those linemen up front to handle their business and do what they got to do. So I'm really eager to see what they can do, see if they can keep that run game going to kind of keep, Rocket Sanders up there and one of the top running backs in the league. And then also with KJ Jefferson, I want to see him take the next step. Or does Hornsby have to come in and say, nah, it's mine? I'm the captain now.
Hornsby's gone now. Hornsby transferred out. He said, I ain't waiting around. He transferred out. So they have their backup could probably end up being Malachi Singleton, who is a true freshman. People should know that name because he's from North Cobb High School here in the Atlanta area. So, and he's kind of more of like a bowling ball. This guy's like, 5'11", 200. I mean, he runs through there now. He's kind of stocky and he's a good runner as well. So they could, they got to hope KJ Jefferson stays healthy.
And Dominique is still there. Dominique Johnson, running back?
Yeah, well, I know they've got AJ, they got Rashad Dubinion and AJ Green there with them. So I think DJ left
AJ Green.
too. So
okay,
they got AJ Green and Rashad Dubinion over there
too. Okay,
as the guys. But
AJ,
you can only have so many.
Yeah, I feel that. And AJ got some carries this year. You know what I mean? He had 412 yards throughout the season, I believe. So
biggest thing for them, they're losing Jaden Hazelwood and Matt Landers. Matt Landers ended up being Arkansas's leading receiver, and we saw what he did at the combine. I mean, he's special, crazy good. So listen, they brought in a guy named Tyrone Broden from Bowling Green, guys. He's 6'7", 215 pounds at receiver. So TK, they're just going.
So they're going to move him to tight end
and let him go up. 6'7" now.
They moving him to tight end, right?
Yeah.
No, he's going to play outside receiver.
He's not playing no outside.
What do he move like? I got to see what he moves like.
He moves well. He really does. He's pretty. He gets in and out of breaks. I thought, ain't no way, but 6'7", they're going to be throwing in the fade out there. He looks like.
Yeah, for sure. Throw that man a fade, but come on now. Listen, he running 4.5, 4.6, 4.4.
I don't know what he runs. I've seen highlights from Bowling Green. He looks pretty sporty.
Okay.
So I think
that's
be able to do
Bowling Green. Okay, stop it with these guys from the other conferences coming into our conference,
Ooh.
the SEC.
Talking
all that junk.
Talking.
Matt Landers came in from Toledo to Arkansas.
He proved it.
and that's where he was.
Matt Landers, where was he before Toledo?
He was at Georgia.
At
Georgia. There you go.
You gotta watch playing. Sorry,
hey,
guys.
you do
everyone listening and watching.
Facts are facts.
I gotta stay on playing.
Facts are facts. New OCs and Dan Enos and Travis Williams over there. So they've got those guys that they got to mesh with the new players, and then they're replacing Drew Sanders and Bumper Pool, guys who are like legends over there with how they played at Arkansas. I mean, Bumper Pool was a constant tackle in the stat sheet.
Oh yeah,
he didn't
found the ball. Oh no, they definitely both were on the stat sheets, both of them. But honestly, tell you the truth, bro, I wasn't super impressed with Drew Sanders, performance at the combine. But listen, the combine ain't all be all. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I just want to see how you go out there and compete. So yeah, of course he's gonna get drafted. I think he'll do really well because he has a nose for that ball. Yeah. He just didn't really impress me. But talking about that defense, Blaine, is like they're losing those two guys. But when you kind of go down the list, man, they got a lot of corners, a lot of DBs that are going to be, in their senior year, kind of a little younger. So that gives them, I think, a little bit of a boost on the outside, at least, that you don't got to think about, replacing a lot of corners.
No doubt. And listen, I'm pretty high on Arkansas. I really think that they can. I think they can do some good things in that year. I think they'll be
last year, bro. Right?
Not as. I don't remember what we had on there. I thought the team I was high on last year was Alabama. I thought Alabama was going to
15.
I thought they'd beat the brakes off of every team they played, and they should have. They had the talent to. They totally underachieved, in my opinion. Arkansas, I think, can really disturb some things over there. In fact, might have to go ahead and lay this.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
I think Arkansas upsets either one of LSU or Alabama this year. They're going to knock one of those two off and go on to win a minimum of 9 regular season games. That is what I think Arkansas does this year.
Okay, so
and they bounce back in a big way.
Okay, LSU or Alabama. Arkansas will beat one of those teams. Got it.
No doubt. They're gonna beat one of those two teams. I think.
I don't understand him sometimes though. Like,
why do you do that?
Because I get it. They're going to be very
two
high teams. Those are two. Top. Listen, if they beat one of those two top teams, then that means they're going to be 1 or 2 in the conference. Right
now I've got them finishing 3rd in the West because I think the other team, but they could, because they'll probably lose another one that they shouldn't lose. That's just how Arkansas does. They they lost to Missouri last year. They shouldn't have lost to Missouri last year. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think they 2 years ago, they about took out Alabama and Tuscaloosa. They took them to the brink, and I think this team will be more like the 2021 team than the 2022 team for So we can run through
Hey,
these.
Tim, you know I got to keep him right with the pen, right?
No doubt. He made the list. There we go. So coming on here, let's run through these other ones pretty quick. I mean, Texas A&M, we know the question. Jimbo Fisher, how long can he last? I mean, listen, they got Connor Wigman at quarterback. They're bringing in Bobby Petrino, who was former offensive. Listen, I think he's one of the better offensive coordinators out there. I really do, offensive minds. But, the question is, do you guys think Jimbo will actually let him run the show? Will he? It's hard to let that go sometimes.
He needs to. Like he legit needs to, bro. He been in this league for how long? How long he been in our league, bro?
I think this is 6 years coming in for Jimbo.
Okay. It's time. It's time to get it on over to somebody else, my boy. And Bobby Petrino might be that dude. We obviously know he can call plays. We obviously know he's successful, but I think Connor Wegman is a big piece of that too, and has to be a big piece of it for sure. Knowshon.
Yes, sir.
I think the biggest question is this. You love Devin A-Chain. How do you replace A-Chain?
He's gone.
I know, right?
How do you replace that? Like, how do you? Not like they was doing shit with it.
Yeah, he was a little hurt sometimes here and there, right? Yeah, they weren't doing nothing with him.
But
he looked good in the combo. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a interesting. Just interesting. You know what I mean? Who's going to go in there and do it? Is it going to be Amari Daniels? Is it going to be what's his name? Moss?
Yeah, Le'Veon Moss.
Le'Veon Moss.
Listen, Amari Daniels is from South Florida, Knowshon, and okay. Georgia. It came down to kind of Georgia and A&M for him when he was coming out of college. So Georgia really liked.
So obviously he made the wrong decision. But listen, we ain't gonna talk about that. He knows what he's doing. Listen, he now he's the man now, right? I mean, he was the guy under A-Chain. So okay, now you got your opportunity to go in there and ball out, right? But at the same time, man, I feel like that quarterback battle, I think for me, man, no one really stands out to me. I like Wigman. I like him.
You think Max Johnson still got a shot over there?
That's who I need to step up, bro. It's Max Johnson. I don't know what happened to him, right? And I feel like he was a better player than that.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think I think they're ready to roll with Connor Wigman, but you got to give Max Johnson his credit for sticking it out over there and competing.
Well, he don't have to stay there. Listen, if they're gonna go with him at number one, he needs to think about going somewhere else.
Well, he's already went somewhere else once, so I don't.
He gone? Well, he can go again, right?
No, well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know how all that works and how much eligibility and everything. Okay. But I mean, it's just crazy to move all these multiple times and stuff. I just can't stand that in college today. JT Daniels is at Rice now. I mean, he's been to.
Wait, he's still playing?
That boy been everywhere.
Yeah, JT Daniels. He's been from USC to Georgia to West Virginia, and now he's going to be at Rice this year. So
if Stetson is 25, he's 35.
He at least 35 now.
Hey,
how old is that man?
God,
Dawg. He over there like Bo Nix.
Man,
Bo Nix was like 17 years.
Bo Nix has been there a while. Of course, we got to talk about Auburn with Hugh Freeze. Listen, there's too many questions for us to even talk about with Auburn because they're basically rebuilding the entire roster. I think the biggest thing, the most intriguing thing, and I texted you guys this earlier in the week, Jason Campbell has a podcast where he covers Auburn football. He's on the radio broadcast for Auburn now. And he said, this man actually said this. These words actually came out of his mouth. He said, TJ Finley. What now?
Well, you got to quote this because I want to know what part he said.
He said TJ Finley is taking first team snaps for Auburn.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. TJ, guys, can we imagine Robbie Ashford not winning that job?
I can't. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I just can't. We TJ Finley's had the opportunity to put it together, kind of like Max Johnson, exactly like Max Johnson. If we're being real,
Ducati down here. Kellen Moore's still playing. Oh, God. Kellen Moore did seem like he was there forever.
I'm saying he was a baller though. But no, it's kind of like Max Johnson over there. I just don't with TJ Finley. I just don't see him winning that job. But the fact that he's taken first team reps right now at this point lets you know that there is a battle going on. There's a battle.
Well, TK, let me ask you. I mean, like last year though, I feel like the man was hurt a lot of the time, right? I mean, was it just him getting beat out by Ashford, or was it him being a little bit injured?
I think it was both.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was both, but even still, beyond experience and all that, I like Robbie Ashford because of what he can do with his legs.
Mhm.
He's
Man.
almost
Eddie says he thinks Vandergrift would be so he thinks Vandergrift transfer over there after
man,
this spring.
chill out with
For
that, my
real
boy.
now, for real,
Yeah.
you ain't lying, man.
Yeah, chill out with that, my boy. Don't even put that in.
He did grow up a big Auburn fan.
Don't
So
put that in the air.
we'll see what happens there. No, I agree with you, TK. I mean, it's gonna be interesting there, but all the roster, I mean, they gotta rework everything up front, offensive line, defensive line. I mean, it's just so much that's changing over. But I do think they've got a good offensive coordinator in Philip Montgomery. Even though Hugh Freeze is going to call the plays, I think that helps. We said, his former experience as a head coach. So I think Auburn will take a step forward this year. What do you guys think?
Man, I don't know about it. I don't know. They
can't be worse than they were under Harsin.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's how I feel. You keep Cadillac. You get Hugh Freeze, a great football mind coming from Liberty. Only big question to me is that just the quarterback position.
Didn't they just get it back to I'm tripping right now. They got someone, didn't they? Running back. Or am I tripping?
I mean, Jarquez Hunter comes back. Who was
he was cold though.
Jarquez was it was easy.
He was cold.
Yeah, he's going to be their guy this year. Their big question is, who steps up at receiver? They got Tavarres Johnson, Coy Moore, Camden Brown that are all, guys that have been there, but none of them have been, the guy. They bring in a big, like 6'7" tight end named Rivaldo Fairweather from FIU, who had 28 catches for 426 yards. So they'll probably use the tight end effectively under Hugh Freeze. And listen, he's done good things at Liberty. He did great things at Ole Miss. When he was there in terms of winning football games. The question's off the field, Hugh Freeze, but hey, he won games and things like that. But speaking of Hugh Freeze, he was at Ole Miss. Let's talk about Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. Okay. Kind of the forgotten team this offseason, Knowshon. You don't really hear a whole lot. I mean, he was active in the portal. He is the portal king, going out and getting Will Howard and Spencer Howard. Mm-hmm. Jackson Dart, I mean, how do you think he feels with Lane going and bringing in two quarterbacks to compete with him this offseason?
This is the thing, though. This is the time we're in. It's like, bro, every year you need to keep on compiling these players. Keep on getting these good players because you just never know what's going to happen if a guy leaves or if he goes to the draft, this and that, right? You always got to have a backup behind you, right? So, listen, don't think too much into that as a player, bro. I've always loved to have someone come in, fresh meat, whatever. I'm like, bro, this is good. This is competition. This is only going to make us all better as a unit. So I love that, right? So it's going to make them better. I think Jackson Dart still gets the nod and still wins over the job, right? Just for having the season that he did. And I mean,
Sanders is going to be hard to beat out from what he did at Oklahoma State too, though. That ain't going to go down without a fight, I don't think.
It ain't going to go down without a fight. But at the same time, man, like I said, competition is good. And then, going to like the running backs, you still got Quinshon. You still got that security blanket and Quinshon running the rock. So you're like, bro, we're going to be all right. And then we just got to see. We just got to see what happens.
Quinshon is that dude. I mean, I'm telling you, he is ridiculous.
Quinshon, he got that Sean at the end. Yeah, with the Quinn, I like that, man. He did a good job.
Listen. Georgia plays Ole Miss.
He did a good job.
I know.
Georgia plays Ole Miss this year, November 11th. Ole Miss comes to Athens, and listen, Kirby Smart will use anything for motivation. And the motivation there would be, I think, the last time Kirby Smart played Ole Miss, it was his first year out there at Ole Miss, and it did not go well for Georgia. Okay, so Kirby Smart probably going to, take that to heart a little bit. Okay. Pete Golden, as Alex points out, is their new defensive coordinator. He's a retread from Alabama, right? Lane Kiffin is bringing in Pete Golden after Nick Saban basically parted ways with him and said, go look elsewhere, kind of behind the scenes type deal. Listen, Ole Miss, we know the defense. It ain't all about the defense over there. It's just, can we get enough stops to kind of hold them at bay so our offense can try to outscore them? That's typically how they play.
Losing those receivers, though, is going to hurt.
Yeah, they did lose some receivers. TK.
Yeah, losing the receivers hurt, but I think getting Pete Golden is good. Obviously, What he was able to do at Bama was crazy. That every year he was there, they were nothing less than the number 3 scoring defense. So I think having having a good offensive mind in the lane train and this coupling that with Pete Golden is huge. So we'll see what they do. But like you said, they are the kind of forgotten folks over there. Ole Miss. It's kind of weird. Lane need to get his Twitter fingers back.
Lane will say something on Twitter here before too long to get everybody talking about him. You don't worry about that. But staying in the state of Mississippi, the last team we have to talk about before we close it out here tonight is Mississippi State. We got a connection here because our guy Rylan Godey was on with us. He's transferring over to Mississippi State. They're actually going to have some tight ends on the roster. How about that they didn't have a single tight end on the roster in Mike Leach's air raid? And now with the tragic loss of Mike Leach and Zach Arnett stepping up, he hires Barbie from App State, the offensive coordinator over there, Kevin Barbie. He comes on, and it's going to be more of a pro-style system. So Rylan Godey is going to find himself with an opportunity to play over there. I know you guys enjoyed talking to Godey when he came on.
Man, good dude. I like that dude. I can't wait to watch him now because I know he's there, honestly, because I think he'll go out there and ball out, especially in this different offense. And I can't wait to see what Will Rogers is going to do because there's a lot of doubters out there. I think one is on this show right here that said that he can't play in the pro-style offense or that he's going to have difficulty. That's what someone said.
It's going to be a totally different deal for Will Rogers. I think he's got talent, but you're talking about a guy who has been in that air raid system where it's been progression 1, 2, 3 type deal. That's more, TK, you've coached air raid teams in high school and stuff. It's very, this, whereas in a pro style system, there's just a lot more to take in pre-snap and post-snap. My feeling is, and how they.
The man's seen every defense in his life. He's seen every single defense. I mean, I see what you're saying though, but I think he's.
Here's the thing. Will Rogers isn't a dummy. He ain't no dumbass out here. So I think that he's gonna be able. I think he's gonna be able to learn and connect dots. I think that he knows how to go through progressions. Now, doing things pre-snap at the line of scrimmage, IDing the mic, re-IDing, those things aren't as maybe not be as familiar to him. But those are, again, he's not an idiot. He's played in the league a long time, and honestly, we don't know. A lot of that may have been put on his shoulders to do in the air raid. But my biggest question for them isn't Will Rogers. My biggest question for them is the receivers. You lose a Ra Thomas. Thank you for that. We'll take him.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You lose a Ra Thomas. You need guys to emerge out wide. Mississippi State, excuse me. But yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. I don't know. Tight ends ain't gonna do it. Sorry, Rylan, but they ain't gonna do it. So you need some playmakers. So a lot of question marks. I think they're the biggest team with probably the most question marks. Because
it's not like they're totally without them. They got Rufus Harvey, LaDedrick Griffin, who's electric, Jaden Wally. I mean,
gotta prove it to me.
Yeah, they weren't like the guys like Ra Thomas and Caleb Ducking were kind of the two guys over there. So we'll see. Well, great point there. You gotta have guys step up to help Will Rogers, right? Because I mean, you gotta have those weapons. You're only as good as your teammate over there, teammates, and what you got around you. So, and listen, Zach Arnett, I think we all have admired what he has done as a defensive coordinator over there. But now, he's still going to call the defensive plays, but now he's got so much on his plate you're talking about managing a roster. You're talking about talking with boosters. You're talking about making sure you keep things good in the culture of the team, all this kind of stuff. It's different when he's sitting in what I will affectionately call in a little bit of reverence to the Pirate here, the captain's chair over there at Mississippi State.
Yeah, definitely a little different, but as you alluded to, we've all been Zach Arnett fans. He's done a lot of good things on that defense. It'll be a little bit different. Probably hand over the play calling duties to Matt Brock, like you said. But I think that what he set there what the president he set there on that defense is there. The culture he set there on that defense is there, and that ain't going away because he ain't going away. So that defense will be what it is. I think the big question mark, like I said, is Will Rogers and that offense.
Yeah, because I mean, at the same time, they got backs there. I mean, shoot, if you want a back next year too, we got backs coming out of everywhere in the SEC again. I feel like so. Hey,
no doubt. These
are another 2 backs. Which was it? What the hell, Jaquarius Marks.
Jaquavius Marks.
Yep, and Dylan Johnson, right? Is he still there?
I think Dylan said peace out. Hey, with the portal, it's just you never know where guys are.
You gotta stay on your toes. Gotta do your homework.
You gotta check
every day. I gotta see you when you're out there, huh? Like, okay, he's over here.
Jaquavius Marks should be that guy. So it'll be interesting. Guys, we've covered the entire SEC West here. I think we all are in agreement that LSU kind of holds that banner right now, and it's going to be, as Ric Flair said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And right now, LSU's the man over there because of what they've done. Brian Kelly got some recruiting going. That wide receiver core is tremendous, and it's going to be interesting. The quarterback battles at Ole Miss, at Alabama, all this. So I enjoyed kind of chopping up the SEC West, guys.
Let me ask you something. You said you got Arkansas at number 3 in the West, right?
Yeah.
Pathos me.
Okay, here we go.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man. I think you really underestimating how I think good Ole Miss will be. They ended last year in the West at number 3. You over here want to bring Arkansas up. I'm gonna stand on 2 feet and say, no, that's not happening. They might be 4 or 5 down behind Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to have another really good year. They got some people on the offensive side. They still got a quarterback over there. Yeah, defenses, they might have to work with a little bit. But, hey, they're going to be better than Arkansas. So I'm standing on 2 feet with that. You got them at 3. Better bump them down to 4 because I got Ole Miss back at 3. Let's get it.
Okay, I hear you.
Let me write that down.
They lost 6 straight in the year last year. So I mean, they start out 7-0. But
hey, bro, chill out. Get off them now. Okay, hold on. Let me go.
We'll see.
Ole Miss at 3.
I like how you keeping the list there, though. We need that.
You gotta watch you.
You gotta watch
watching yourself right now.
Yeah, true. That is very true. I had to write myself there, but I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of questions throughout the whole West, but if I look at Arkansas, Ole Miss, man, I can't see them, being better than Ole Miss. I just can't see it. So we'll see. I like it, Tim.
Absolutely. He said Knowshon's keeping that list on the bedside table. For sure. Oh, yeah. We appreciate Daniel, Tim, Alex, Rhett, Andy, Diane, all the regulars in here. And guys, anybody who's new, Antoine, Ducati, everybody that's in here. Go ahead, do us a favor. Yeah, absolutely. What Alex say?
You see him right there at the bottom? Yeah.
Proven running back. I think he's good. I never said one thing about running back. I said Quinshon's a beast. He's fantastic over there. I think, you got Quinshon and Rocket Sanders who are just unbelievable in the West over there. LSU and Alabama are the ones that have to figure out running back, honestly. Yeah. So they got to figure that out. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. Please, before you turn off here, hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. Subscribe if you hadn't already. You see scrolling across the bottom there, the jonesmission.org. That's from our fantastic guest last night or this earlier
Ben
tonight.
Jones. Who? Ben Jones.
So we appreciate him coming on. If you missed that interview, check it out. Scroll back to the front. Check that out. We really, really appreciate it. And for my guys, Tavarres King, Knowshon Moreno, I'm Blaine Gilmer. We'll be back at our normal time, 8:30 next Wednesday night. Appreciate you guys. And
appreciate y'all jumping on with the early start. We had to start early on them. Ben Jones.
Got to accommodate the Pro Bowler now. You got to accommodate the Pro Bowler. For Knowshon and TK, I am Blaine Gilmer. We'll catch you next time on Georgia Players Section with Tavarres and Knowshon on UGASports.com.
The best in this sport, whether you like it or not. Learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!